All right. Totally unscheduled lives. Anyway, they seem to be the best. I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be the worst. All I know is I drew this Crawdad on here like 3 weeks ago. And I've really been looking forward to making this dude. And I'm going to do it today. I'm going to go ahead and make it. And I don't care if anybody watches me or not. I just want to do it. Get it done. And but you know what? I mean, you're going to be here. You might as well try to take it seriously. That said, I got so little room. I don't know how much I can really zoom in. Hey, Roger, what's going on? Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate the like. Hope you're doing good, Roger. Glad to see you in there. Heck yeah. Okay, I got to go over here and get the, heck yeah, I like that. All right. I'm going to turn my, my dust collector on. We're going to turn this thing on. Let it suck some dust. Not loud. That's all right. I got this, I got a pretty nice dust collector. I think I paid about $300 for it, and I really like that thing. Hey, Tim, Perry, what's going on, guys? Glad to see y'all. So what I got this Boat Oar, okay, and it's a pirogue oar. It's Cajun crawfish paddle, okay. Anyhow, so it's really small, but it's made for pirogue, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. Carve this Crawdad in here, and it's got a crack in it, and I might fill that later. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't know that I don't think it's on this side of the wood. It looked to me like it was on this side, so that's why I didn't get too excited about it. So I'm going to carve it in this side, make sure this thing is pulling the dust. Oh yeah, it's pulling it. Okay, now I'm assuming, and I don't know, this looks like some pretty daggone hard wood to me. I'm going to get a phone call or nothing, because I'm going to be pretty busy. I didn't even think to put my phone on somebody else, so it is what it is. It's pretty cool. You'll have that. So I got a new thing today. I got these concave icos from Mampa, 8-piece set. It was like $52. I think 55 by the time it was all said and done. I dropped that little. Yeah, there he is. I don't want to go down in that hole. But anyhow, so it's a little tiny one, like you could do little tiny eyes with, and then clear up to this one here. It looks like it's about an inch or so. But there's quite a few of them. There's 3 of them that are in the 8th shank. So that said, pretty cool. Glad to get there because I wanted to start carving my eyes instead of putting plastic eyes in or carving eyes that just wouldn't come out that good. This is a nice little addition to add, so I'm glad I got them. All right, plus I can do fish scales better with them too. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Be sure to hit that like button if y'all hadn't already. And I'll go ahead and pull out a burr and get this baby started. All right. So, what we got here? I got these off of Rhinestone Suzanne's link. And I'm going to start with this real aggressive extreme flamer burr. And put that in there. And I thought about using my quarter flamer burr, but this is too tight. The amount of room I got to work in here, so I'll just end up overbiting. I know me, get too carried away. But hope everybody's doing pretty good. You smash that like button, and we have a pretty good time. And this comes out kind of sort of looking like the draw. Any halfway, quarter way, a tenth of a way. Anyway, if it comes out looking like the draw, I'd be happy. And I got my RZ mask on. Get the rest of the way on. See what we can do. Start with the easy, down the tail. that hard. I thought this would be like a really hard and honestly, it seems like yellow fine. But it looks like yellow I might regret it, but I had thought about taking these, I don't know what to call these things. I call them antennas because I don't honestly know. But taking them and tucking them underneath of the crawfish, or even kind of kicking them off there and disappearing them. Because I thought, man, it'd be easier to carve if I did that. But I just decided, screw it. I'm going to leave them in there and just try to work around it and see how it goes. But so far, so good, digging that out. And whatever this wood is, it's kind of soft. But like I said, be sure and hit the like button. Hey, Dad, Tim, Liz. Glad to see you guys. Ray, what's going on, buddy? Grumpy, a.k.a. Cheech. Heck yeah. Awesome, guys. Okay, let's keep on right on and going. Put my mask on here. RZ away. Oh, I knocked my beer over. I don't know if it's the same thing or not, but you know, they were really expensive back then, and I'll bet you I was like, I don't know, I was really young, I can tell you that. But anyway, having a good time making this thing so far. Be sure to hit that like button. Hey, EW, what's going on? Hey, Poonam, what's up? Roger Bendigo Hana, my good friend, heck yeah. Glad to see you. Okay, I'll keep right on it going. EW, my good buddy. Definitely my good buddy. In fact, he had Trump call in yesterday because he's doing such a good talk on Dylan's. It's crazy when the President of the United States calls into a carving, a woodworker show. That's pretty cool. I've got a central something. I got a one you get from Harbor Freight dust collector, big dust collector. That's what you hear running in the background. And this stuff here, the holes, the dust, sucking the dust down through that thing. And it's about 20 feet away. And I'm also wearing an RZ mask. And I'm not having any dust issues at all. It's pretty good. pace cool down, because it does matter. At least I think it matters. But anyway, we got the exterior kind of cut out of it, and so I'm going to dig down along the sides more with the pointier burr. Still pretty coarse burr though. And let me pull this out and show you what I got. That's a Kutzall coarse pointy burr. They got a name for it. I don't know what it is, but hey, I'm seeing a whole bunch of giant emojis. We got baby kisses. We got Michael S. Superfan, the electric whittler, the only one. Heck yeah. What do we got here? Hey, baby kisses. What's going on? Glad to see you. All right, I'm going to keep on. Uh-oh, Michael, give us some of that golden poop. We've been getting all kinds of that stuff. That's awesome. If you haven't hit the like button yet, hit the like button. I mean, it don't cost anything. Nobody's going to come to your house and ask you why you did, you know. I mean, the worst thing that happen is you flip over to the screen and lose your spot, and then you have to come back. And that's all right, because we'll still be here for a good hour, I'd say. This will take a minute. It's not like lightning. It's not a lightning project. It's not a project where you know, you went to the bathroom and it was there. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. I'm like the super duper insanely impatient person. I mean, I have no patience for nothing. I'm horrible. But so this is slower. In my mind, it's slower. That said, it's actually helping me slow down, and with doing this flex shaft carving is actually helping me slow down and want to do more detail work and bigger carving. So, I mean, it's a benefit. You know, it's a huge benefit. Does pinch them, all they're like, ah, pull it back, you know. But I seen old Chad down there, Too Big Blue Seafood, the thing holding off his finger, and he's just like flips it in the bucket, you know, no big deal. And I mean, but he's been messing with them all his life. And heck, we all get scared if it's a praying mantis squeezing our finger, you know. We're a bunch of citizens. That's the way it is in the Midwest. Bunch of girls, even the boys. Women don't hate. Sorry. And if he was in California in the summertime, you know, what would he wear? And she said, if he couldn't wear anything, but what would he wear? Just sunglasses. And I'm like, well, he'd at least wear a Speedo. And of course, I won that one. But I mean, I'm just thinking like a guy. I'd rather my eyes get burnt than, you know, my balls be flopping everywhere for everybody to see. That wouldn't be right. You know, you gotta keep that private stuff private. I mean, it's just the way it is. Okay. Let's get into the actual boat. So, I'm just thinking, start up here, the back side of the scale should be your high side as you dig in. I might be wrong, but that's what I think. and you can actually see what's going on there if there's still body. It's kind of hard to see from down there, but as much as I'm having to flip this thing around, I thought I'd probably be better off to do it this way. Anyway, be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. And yeah, seen Last Breath Woodworks, small wood lot in there. Heck yeah, glad to see you guys. Perry, the Carving Wizard, just check and see all's in there. Michael S. Superfan, Baby Kisses, our good friend. DeLand's Homemade Woodworking. Heck yeah, glad to see you guys. And I know Raja Bende Gohana's been in there quite a bit. I haven't seen Creation Dust yet, but I'll say he's probably in there. All right, guys, I'm glad. I'm going to keep rocking on the rock. flat disc or my finger sander, because it won't take too much off, to bring your crawfish out past the burn. We'll find out anyway. It might not be deep enough for my brittle thing. You know what? I don't care. First thing that happens, I left the burn. You have to look at this stuff. You don't have to. But you'd be a lot happier if you're like, yeah, you know, we don't come out very good. All right. jigs and make those eyeballs with it. So I'm going to take this out. I can't wait to use one of these, so I want to try it and see how that comes out. We'll take some of these out of the box. And there's two really tiny ones in there. So I'm debating which one. I think it would have to be this one. That's the smallest. That one's going to be, I mean, I guess it would stand out a lot more if I use that bigger one. I don't know. Let's try it. If I don't like it, I can always change it and go with the smaller one. I'm just looking forward to that. I'm going to come back and dig some more of that around. But, I mean, that's looking cool. In fact, I'll zoom that in. And that way you guys can see what I'm doing as I do it. All right. Hey, 65 likes, 118 watching. That's really awesome. Let's see if we can get a few more likes in there. That'd be really cool. You guys are super awesome and happening in a fantabulous way. Whatever the hell that means. Okay. All right, let's see here. Hold on a second. All right. Let's see how this is going to go. I got to take that stupid mask off for a minute. Chainsaw carvings of those. That's going to be fun. Let's see. That's what we got. That looks really good. I like it. Really cool. Okay, let's keep on going. So, now it's mainly just trying to clean up around it. And then we'll clean up some of these edges on this. So let's see what we got here that when you get to cleaning that. Let me put this up first. I don't want to lose it. But that's the second smallest. And they are a little big. But I think that come out really cool. Buddy, let me tell you, them are hot. I don't know what you'd use that on, except for maybe putting eyes on whittled stuff, you know? I mean, they're really tiny. That's what I know. Really tiny. Okay, let me put these back in the box. I don't want to drop them in them holes or nothing. And I need to do some adjustments to that. Cut this out and make it where it screws in and out. Make sure that thing is still hot, so I have to make sure that the box don't have smoke coming out of it here in a second. I mean, that'd be kind of neat, wouldn't it? Okay, set that over there. Put that bit back in there for now. I got this one. That's pretty coarse. That piece there. So if I was going to try to clean it up, I probably ought to go with this one and this ball. So let me do the ball first because it's a fine ball anyway. And then I can go to that other pointy burr. That's a fine burr. Or like a semi-fine burr. It's a burr. These are bits. And in case you don't know, and you're not in a carving or you don't know, and I didn't know, and I don't know enough to know that I don't know. So some people call these things bits, and some people call these burrs. I call them bit burrs. Hence, bit burrs. Bit burrs. Okay. The bits and the burrs. And yeah, on the Big Rock Candy Mountain. Alright, let's clean this baby up. What did I do with the RZ? Oh, here it is. Got it back on. I'm gonna throw some more dust. That thing is sucking this dust so good that I don't know that I need anything else. Oh, I don't want those on these. I don't know that I need this mask on. I'm all right. good job. At least I think so. Pull that mask off for a second. I'll tell you, man, that mask, even that RZ mask, after a while, it just gets a little stuffy. And of course, they make a lot fancier stuff. But yeah, you know, I'm not one that's going to spend a couple $100 on some mask that feeds your air conditioned air and all that kind of stuff in there, because I know how I treat things, and it's not good. And I'm pretty, at least I'm honest about it, right? Okay, we use that kind of to sand the whole thing, especially right around the bug itself, and see how it comes. Hey, there's Susie Q. I knew she'd like this. Heck yeah, come out pretty good. Use them man paw eyes in there. All right. of a last fine detail, and I mean it is getting a last fine detail too. It seems like it's working pretty good, but that's it. That's what we got. Appreciate anything you ever see carved in a boat oar. You know, the dance that you have to do with the stupid thing in order to do it. That is what it is, right? debate. Do I burn this and then sand it back out with a finger sander? And that's what I'm leaning toward doing and seeing how that comes out. Just burn it with a propane torch, the small one, and then sand it back off and see how it comes out. Because I mean, I like it just like it is. I think it looks pretty good just like that. The only thing is, it's got to have something. You got to take off all this you know, just wood. Hey, small wood lot, what's going on, man? But take off all this just where it's never been touched before since the saw hit it, or since the last time it was sanded, and burn that down and then sand that back top off. I think that would look cool. The only issue I think is in this stuff here, wherever I hit it with that finger sander, but I don't think I would. Realistically, I think it would just be, I'm thinking that I can burn this whole thing and then sand the crawfish back out. So the crawfish should be the wood color and the burn would be everything in the background to it. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. What's your guys' thoughts real quick? I got a few minutes to think about this. We've only been on here for an hour and 10 minutes. And the worst thing that happens is ruin it. I mean, that's how I see it. But I do love how that man paw jig brought the eyes out. Let's see. I got Neat Bear. I got, okay, people's got other stuff going on. Yeah, I know. Perry, he likes to get these. That's what you said, Perry. I remember you got them, ordered them in. You know, special occasion. Can't blame you there. All right. I'm going to go grab that stuff out of the carbon shanty. And so I won't need that fan running no more. Well, yeah, I will when I finger sand it. I might as well leave it run. So let me run out there and get that real quick. I'm going to get propane, a propane torch, and finger sander. And let's see what happens. I will be right back. Says return to the building. Okay, there's that thing. And I might be just totally screwing this thing up. I don't know. What I do know is, I know two things. I know enough to know I don't know. And so we're going to find out. You know, that's funny. You walk away for a while and 30 people leave. That's not so bad. I appreciate the 63 of you that's still there. How about that? Awesome. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out. Pick this baby up. And I'm not sure about a lighter, but I got my striker for my turbo torch. We'll see what happens. This might have mud daubers in it and not work at all. I don't know. We'll find out. I had that happen with my turbo torch. So, whatever. We're going to find out. Let's see. Might not work. Might have to use a lighter for this one. You wouldn't think you'd have to, but it's looking like it. Let me turn that thing off. That's annoying. It's loud when it doesn't need to be. I get there. But yeah, if that's not going to work, I'm going to have to run in and grab a lighter. And you'll have that. It's just what I do. But, yeah. I mean, you would think I would light it, but whatever. Is it coming out? What's the flow like? Well, I can smell it. That don't mean it's good enough. Who knows? Oh, yeah. Okay, let me ring it a lighter real quick. More technical difficulties there, Elvis. Hey, I'll tell you what, the views jumped up. All them sparks. People like watching you burn stuff. I figured that out. All right, I'll be back in a second. Gotta get some fire from the fire stuff. Fire lady. Oh, lady, fire. Hey, fire lady. Yeah, everybody likes it when you're destructive. I don't know. It is what it is. But then if you're not there, they leave. That's funny too. Ah, they didn't leave. That's amazing. All right. I mean, not you guys that are in here all the time, but woo! That's not good. I wonder why I did that. Remember the mud dauber conversation? Let's see. That's not hot yet. Okay. Let me take that off and look inside of it. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. Feel like that. Would you look at that? Look at that. Just look at it. Yeah, what good's that gonna do? Okay, it's pretty daggone dirty. All right, can you see through there? No. See, the whole thing is plugged up. Yeah. It was exactly what I was afraid of. Beat that on there. And man, there's a lot of like dirt in there and stuff. Let's stick this thing in here. I think it's the mud daubers. I really do. Because they did. They plugged up. Look at that. Yeah. I shoved that whole thing through there. They plugged that whole thing up. You see through it yet? Can't even see through it. It's so thick. Might be there. No, I might have to come up with something a little thinner. Well, I can at least see through it now. Let's see. I got some thinner pieces over here, like some Dremel brushes and stuff. Different crap I can try to shove up in there. But that's what it is. Stupid mud daubers. Okay, it's clear as a bell now. All right, let's try this again. Great Scott. Okay. Hey, look at that. Now, hey, just for morbid curiosity, can I light it with this? Oh yeah, okay. It's just a matter of it being clogged. All right. Good sparks and stuff. Good show, chap. All right, let's see if I can do this without messing it up. So, thinking it through. Burning the crawdad. It's not so important to burn the crawdad. It's more important to burn around him. Okay. But he's got to be burnt too. Burn her at the stake! Man, I kind of like this, what's coming out, actually. Huh. All right, some part of me, deep down inside, it could be diarrhea. I don't know. Some part of me wants me to just leave it like that. What do you guys think? Let's get an opinion. Opinion from the Peanut Gallery. I think that looks pretty good. Would you leave it like that? Or my other option is, see, you got a guy with a skull in there. You know he's just here because there was something on fire. Hey, Millie Maple, what's going on? Glad to see you. Heck yeah. But that's okay, COD, man. Narco, we still like you. Anyhow, so I can do one of two things. I can continue to burn this down and then sand this off. Or I just leave it like that. Actually, I mean, it doesn't look pretty nice just like that, but some of these places didn't get color, so one of two things: I'm going to mess it up and sand it, or I'm going to like it and be happy with it. Let's find out. Here, let me get a little closer. Get a little closer. Don't be shy. Unless you're a guy, and then stay the heck away from me. Get a little closer. Solid extra dry. Get closer. Catch him on fire. Look, I think if Elvis was still alive, he'd like it like that. What do y'all think? Let's give this bug some more black. Spend some more time on the bug. Crawdad. Look pretty good. I think old Dad's going to stay just like that. I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Not too good, not too bad. Somewhere in the end, somewhere in the beginning. Or should I burn it, give it the fire, and then sand it off and hope it's okay? What do you think, baby K? Should I leave it like this, or should I try the next burn? What do y'all think? Hey, William, what's going on, man? Awesome. Hey, Matthew, what's up, buddy? Heck yeah, you like that? Okay. Hey, even the COD Narcos said give me the thumbs up. So yeah, and I would have thought he'd have been the one saying, burn that baby, burn it, and he didn't. So it must be all right, my man. Good deal. I'm going to try to sell this at the Pirate Festival along with some other stuff we got. Clear coat that dude. Now, I might burn in the Cajun crawfish paddle. I don't know. I might just leave that like it is. It's hard to say. It kind of looks good. Clear coat that and be happy. That's kind of where I'm at with it. All right, guys, here's what I know. Let me pull this thing off here real quick. And not a whole lot. I mean, if you're looking for inspiration or negotiation or consideration or restoration, probably would call somebody else. Well, here's what we got. Me. Okay, no, here, hold on. A little closer look there. And really like how the man-paw, man. I mean, that's really awesome how nice that did. I cannot wait to make some eyes on some chainsaw carvings with these. It's going to be a blast. Good times, good times. Okay, guys, that's what I got. We've been on here 81 minutes. I appreciate everybody being in here. There's still 86 people in here. You hate to leave, but, I mean, yeah, people got stuff to do. I do got some other stuff over here. Yeah, I get this little... So this bear here, it was a start on the bear. I went ahead and chainsaw carved it down to that and thought I'd finish it off with the flex shaft. So I got some other projects coming up, and then I got a ton of cottonwood bark and a little piece of corn, just some different stuff going on. Oh, I got this really cool piece of driftwood. I've had this piece for a really long time, and I thought it would be cool to carve a face in that. I thought that'd be really cool. And so at some point in time, we'll get to it. What I can tell you is we're going to be working on getting stuff ready for a Pirate Festival next weekend. So I will be in Saturday morning or Sunday morning carving something. Sunday morning. I don't know about Sunday afternoon if we'll make it in here at all or not. But that's the ACOD. That's Narco. That's why people watch me. I'm goofy. I'm not good at nothing. But this is what I do. I carve stuff mainly with chainsaw. And I ain't no good at it, but I do it. And it's not, I'm here because of the things I say, you know what I mean? Like, I guess one of the biggest things I could tell you, Narco, was certain things like a moon landing, I just don't believe in. And I ain't afraid to talk about any of that stuff, just like how they're pumping these markets right now so they can take everybody's money. And people will say those conspiracy theories, but I mean, really, we live in an awful world of selfish people, and sooner or later, God's kingdom is going to come and wipe those off the face of the earth, and there's only going to be those peaceful that are left. And until that happens, we got a lot of things to deal with, and some of them are bad. And sometimes we're just flat lied to, and it is what it is. You can't look, man. You got to look upward. That's all it boils down to. But I appreciate you watching. Appreciate all you guys watching. Be sure and check out my pal Creation Does 777. We'll be in tomorrow, chainsaw carving something between 2 and 3. Usually that's when he's on, between 2 and 3. We'll be back Sunday morning between 8 and 9. Come back when you can stay.